Alright, this is a review of the RedStar shoulder mount follow focus unit, LED light, articulating arms, shotgun microphone, and matte box. So I'll go ahead and start getting it assembled here. You start out with this comes in two pieces. You have your shoulder mount here, and you have the pole that's going to attach to it. It has a screw on one end and the blue plug on the other, so it's fairly easy to discern which one this is. You can attach it to your little double arm here, it doesn't matter which side, and I'm going to do it this direction so that it sits, so that the shoulder mount sits a little higher than the actual pole here. So, and I'll grab the longer pole here, and that's what you're going to insert through the center. And you could install it one of two ways. You can either put this forwards, having your camera facing this direction, which is how they have it in the pictures, or you can have it this direction with your camera lens facing this direction. It gives you the ability to move it back a little further. Then you have your holes here for these guys, and we're just going to put them just barely in there, and you can see right there, and tighten these down. You offset it a little bit to whichever side you want your shoulder piece on here, and then you just slide that on the end here. Alright, so now you got your front rails and your back rail attached to the camera mount. Like I said, this can go this direction, or you can flip it 180 degrees so that this faces outward. I like it this way. It's a little easier to maneuver and work with. With your grips, from what I can discern, there's no real way to do it, but your thumb would go in this blue section here, so you'll mount it with the large blue section out. Alright, so there is your base rig with no attachments on it. This is not the direction they show in the picture there. This works a lot better for longer lenses. So I'm going to take it apart real quick and then put it back together in the configuration they normally have. Alright, so now we're back, and I've got the camera mount mounted the opposite direction. This is how it's in the pictures that I've seen. This is how it is mounted in there. So the first thing I normally attach is the follow focus unit here, because that's got to go first on the rails. And you'll slide it in. You can do it either left-handed or right-handed. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever direction you mount it in here. Now I just slide it all the way back, and then I'm going to assemble my matte box here. This is all a plastic unit here. The only thing that's metal on it is the mount for the rail system. Alright, now this guy's going to just slide down your rails. Down here is the height screw. You can see it right here. Just loosen that, and it'll let you drop it. Now with the 10 to 22 millimeter lens and the 18 to 55, this right here is small enough to go through this hole, but the end is not. So you actually have to remove the lens, which can get kind of annoying if you're doing this every day. So that's why I leave it mounted. The other thing that's really a disadvantage here is your battery door. You can't reach if it's mounted, so you have to unmount the camera every time you want to change battery. And you have to take the lens off every time. So that's a major disadvantage for me there. Get your camera mounted on there, and then stick your lens through the matte box here. That's why I did not tighten down all the screws here, so I can make adjustments. And then mount your lens. There we go. Now you're going to slide your matte box, loosen your screw on this band here, and then pull the band all the way out. Wrap it around the camera, and then stick it back through here. And then you'll want to get this pretty tight. Then you're going to slide your follow focus unit up. It's just these gears here. Getting those gears together is what you're wanting to do. And then once you got that, when you turn your wheel here, as you can see down there, your focus is going to turn. We're going to go ahead and do the articulating arms here. Now in the box they're going to come like this, and you're going to have a hot shoe mount, which obviously if you have your microphone attached to this hot shoe, there's no other hot shoes available. But they thought of that, thankfully, and if you unscrew the center section here, it's going to get you to a 1/4 inch screw there. If you remove this large nut here that seems to hold them both together, then you've got now your 1/4 inch, and you have your nut that you can attach it with. What I found worked best to attach them is you get these 3 open slots here, and you can just stick your 1/4 inch right through one of these. It fits just fine. And then attach your nut from the other side. Make sure you have thread lock on it by now, because when you get it in here, and if you get it tightened down, then it gets to be a pain if you don't get it really tight. Now, this joint here really has to be cranked down a lot. There's a bearing inside and 2 washers on the other side of it, so don't take it apart to try and thread lock it. But you just have to get it really tight. Once you get it tight, you're fine. There's no issues at all with it there. So you have your 11 inch attached to your rail system, and it's out of the way of your controls, so you can still reach everything. Alright, so then once you get your microphone, you're going to have your battery here. It is a CR2. It's a 3-volt battery. You can pick them up at Walmart if you need a replacement. Right here's your battery door with the arrows on it. Let me go ahead and move up here. Here's your battery door with the arrows on it. We'll go ahead and just open that up. Just pull it this direction. There you go. Just insert it. Plus end is here. That's going to go towards the back. And then put your battery door on. Alright, this microphone uses a standard 1/8 inch plug. Almost every single camera on the market is going to have one of these if you have the ability for an external microphone. Your switch here, you have 3 positions. You have off, you have on at 90-degree spread, and on at 120-degree spread, which is going to give you a lot more coverage if you are recording a group of people rather than 90 degrees for one person. When you turn it on, that light will click on and then back off. Now, I thought I had a problem with my switch, that my microphone was broken. When I actually opened up and read the instructions, it said that when it clicks like that, that's when your batteries are good. When it flashes the light on, flashes the light off. Your batteries are good, don't need change. Now, if the light is on stable, then your batteries need change. Now, that's kind of backwards for me, but it might work for them. You got your hot shoe mount on the bottom. It also has the 1/4 inch screw there, so you can mount it to your articulating arm, to a tripod, wherever you want it, but obviously we're going to go with the hot shoe here. Just going to slide it on the camera. It's very easy. So moving on from there, we have our LED light that comes with the kit. It has this nice hot shoe stand here, but on the bottom of the hot shoe stand, you have a 1/4 inch screw. So you have your 11 inch articulating arm here, so we're just going to screw that on there. Alright, and then inside our felt bag here, nice felt bag again, and in here we have our LED light, and it has a separate section here. You can see the sections of the bag there. It has a separate section for the filters. Now, it comes with 4 filters, a nice blue, a nice red, a white, and a yellow. I'm using fluorescent lighting, so I'm going to use the white diffuser here. Alright, so on your light here you have your flags, your reflective flags, and if you flip it to the side here, on the right side, you'll see there's a little slit down here. That's where you insert your diffuser. Now, you want to put the shiny side towards the back, because you want your nice matte side towards the front. You don't want to have reflections all over the place from it. You're just going to slide it down in there with your tab on the top here so you can remove it again. Alright, so on the back you have 4 different buttons here. You have your power button, which is just a switch that's going to turn it on and off. You can see those LEDs that are lighting up there, maybe. Yep. And these are just your power meter, so when you have it turned on, they're going to show what your power was. Now, if you want to see what it is now while the light is turned on, the light's turned on, then you're going to press this test button, and that's just going to give you a bar setting of what it thinks the batteries are at. Your brightness adjustment here, it says in the instructions there's a brightness dial. It's not. They're brightness buttons. You have a plus and a minus. Your screw here. There's your hot shoe adapter. It's metal. Just attach it right here to your hot shoe. I'll go ahead and turn everything on here so you can see what I'm seeing. Alright, so now you can see into the camera here on our split screen. You can see we can still zoom in fairly well. This is an 18 to 135 millimeter lens, so you can still get your zoom and you can focus really well. This is all with one arm I've got it on, and it's very stable. You can still focus very well there with your manual focus. It's very smooth. The manual focus is well lubricated. Alright, so now I'm recording from the shotgun microphone on the T3i here, and it's set to its 90-degree directional mode. Now I'm behind it, so I'm going to see, this is all coming from that microphone, and then I'm gonna flip it around and keep talking as I go. The 90 degree should actually be very directional. It should pick up best right about here, and when I'm talking to it now, it should be a little better than if I flip it around like this. You shouldn't get quite as much volume out of it. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the LED light here. It is about 10 times as bright as I thought it was going to be. It comes with 4 different diffusers here. It comes with a white diffuser and 3 colored diffusers here. I'm not going to use these personally because I use fluorescent lighting, so the white's going to work perfectly for me. But you have the option if you'd like to color your light just a little bit. Alright, so I turned off my additional lighting here. All the light's coming from this LED on the camera. We're going to go ahead and switch to this camera here to give you an idea of what the lighting is going to be like. Now here it is with the light on, pointing at a camera. This camera is probably 6 feet away from it. You can see that there's not really that much fuzz because it's not low lighting. So the camera is really picking up a lot of light off this LED. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the LED here. And now you're going to see just how much it tries to adjust it. It really makes a huge difference having this on. Now we're going to turn it on at its lowest brightness there. There we go. And I'm going to move it all the way up to its highest. So now you can see there that the brightness is very good depending on if you're on your lowest setting or on your highest. Moving on to the matte box here, it's fairly thick plastic. You're not going to have any issues with snapping it. I have currently mounted in here the Canon 18 to 135 millimeter lens. It barely fits through the hole in the back. Any larger lens and you're going to have to make some adjustments on it. I have here the Tamron 10 to 24 millimeter lens, and it does not fit through the back of the matte box, but what I've found is if you take your cap off and insert it through the back of the matte box and you can mount it to your camera there, it's really going to fit nice and tight in the matte box. The benefit to that is you're going to have hardly any light leakage around the ring here. It's going to be really tight to it, so it'll give you really good quality video. So your height adjustment on your matte box here, you can go about 1 inch up and down so you can mount whatever lens you like in there. The disadvantage to that is it does not go high enough to allow you to mount your Canon battery pack onto the bottom of your camera, so every time you want to change your battery you're going to have to remove the camera and the lens, in my case for my 10 to 24, and change your battery and then put it all back on. Very large disadvantage for me. I'm hoping to get some kind of adapter to allow me to attach this, but for the moment I cannot use the battery grip. The follow focus unit is very smooth, very well lubricated. It allows you to remove any of the movement you'd normally get if you were adjusting your manual focus on the lens itself. Alright, in conclusion, this full shoulder mount kit from RedStar is exactly what I was looking for. The LED is very bright, the shotgun picks up very well, the matte box blocks out all the light it needs to, the follow focus is extremely smooth, and the actual build quality of the unit is very solid. It's very comfortable to use. I'm definitely going to recommend it to a lot of different people. It says on the product that it is for DSLRs, but I've also found it works just fine for my consumer camcorder. The only issue you'll run into is if you have a flip-out LCD screen on the side of your camera, the follow focus unit's not going to attach very well to your focus ring, so it might be something you want to leave out. But other than that, the entire kit is extremely well built. I'm very happy with it. The only disadvantages for it, again, are you cannot use your Canon battery pack on the bottom of the camera currently, and the shotgun microphone's cord is just a couple inches short of where the T3i's input is if you have it mounted to the 7-inch articulating arm like I do here. The reason why you want it mounted to this arm is because you want to get it up above the matte box so you can get a lot better mic pickup. Sitting down here is really not going to pick up very well because the matte box is going to be in the way of any of the audio you're trying to pick up, and when it's very directional you're directing yourself right into the matte box here. So you want to raise that up. You'll need just a little bit of an extension here, and it'll work just fine. Other than that, this kit is exactly what you need if you are wanting to get a professional look out of your DSLR camera. So go ahead and add it to your cart, and this has been a review for the RedStar DSLR shoulder rig.